This episode is brought to you by Pepsi Wild Cherry. Pepsi Wild Cherry is bursting with delicious cherry flavor and a sweet, crisp taste that gives you more to go wild for. Getting wild may look different these days, but whether it's opting for a solo Friday binge watch or a big night out, everyone can indulge in their wild side with Pepsi Wild Cherry. Also available in Zero Sugar. So grab a Pepsi Wild Cherry and get wild.
TIAA is on a mission. Why? Because 54% of Black Americans don't have enough savings to retire. So in collaboration with big-name artists like Wyclef Jean, TIAA released Paper Right, new music inspiring a new financial future. With 100% of streaming sales going to a nonprofit that teaches students how to invest. Stream Paper Right now and help close the gap.
Maybe I'm just nostalgic, or maybe it's truly magical. Oh, when I see that castle, the feeling is truly magical. Maybe I'm just nostalgic. Maybe it's truly magic. Maybe I'm just nostalgic. Maybe it's truly magic.
Good afternoon, everybody.
That's not how we start.
Hey, I'm Andrew.
And I'm Brooke.
And this is the Horror Movie Night Podcast.
We're watching
Blood and guts and shit.
It's a straight to DVD movie that I got from Blockbuster.
Originally produced in 1982 by, what was the director's name? Wasn't it one of Mel Gibson's? I think it was Mel Gibson when he was in college.
Are you talking about The Passion of Christ?
No.
No, that's present day Mel Gibson.
Yeah, that's a religious
modern
movie.
Mel Gibson. This is past Mel Gibson.
Now, I know it's really confusing because I'm on a podcast and it's the month of Halloween, but we're actually doing the DisNeato podcast.
Say what? DisNeato podcast.
Wait, we're in Halloween month?
It's Halloween
So we're
month.
not watching.
Oh,
Blood-
reset. Hey, I'm Andrew.
And I'm Brooke.
And this is the DisNeato Podcast October edition.
Woo!
It's Halloween time, guys.
Happy Halloween time. It's October.
Get your pumpkin spices.
Octubre. Pumpkin spice lattes came out in August. So if you haven't gotten one yet, what the fuck are you doing?
I'm a Summer Die Hard fan, so I refused pumpkin spice lattes until at least October because I know they'll be here till January, and I actually don't even like them.
Can we just admit that this has been the worst summer? It has been raining constantly. Yep. And when it's not raining, it is so humid that you walk outside and you melt.
I love to run, and I don't even like to run this summer. I haven't.
You can't
It's either been
breathe.
pouring down rain, thundering and lightning, or way too humid.
Yeah, you can't breathe. It's so thick outside with 3 C's.
Yep. So I've had to sit
Thick.
inside the AC and eat. Which is not fun.
I know.
It's a terrible life.
Where's the summer body going? Nowhere. It's going into the air conditioner.
It never came.
Yeah, it's been winter body forever. But anyway, it's October, and we're going to talk about creepy, crawly villain things.
And as you guys know, Disney is all about Halloween and celebrating Halloween, both at the Disney theme parks, on the Disney Channel television, and also
this isn't Disney, but Freeform's doing 31 nights of Halloween this year instead of 13 nights of Halloween. So everybody get on that shit.
Yo.
Just play Hocus Pocus every day.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I want. Hocus Pocus every fucking day.
Yes.
Every day. Until Christmas. And then I'll watch the Santa Claus, and then I'm back to Hocus Pocus.
The Santa Claus?
Dude, that's
I
such
love
a good
the
movie,
Santa
right?
Claus.
Yeah.
All right, but we're talking Halloween.
Halloween!
Halloween.
So today we're going to discuss our top 5 Disney villain songs. Not the villains themselves, but their actual musical numbers or musical numbers about them. Songs that sound weird and ominous, pretty much, that are also in Disney movies.
Spooky.
Woo! That was a ghost.
That was
wasn't even me.
no. That was
a fucking ghost.
That was terrifying. Where was that? Where did that come from?
I think it was the basement.
Oh my god!
I know. Don't fucking go down there to do your laundry. There's ghosts. All right.
I'm terrified.
I feel like I start every list now. It's always like, oh, Brooke, you didn't start that first list or something like that. So you start now. Well, fuck that. I've started all these lists. You go.
Yeah, and I was gonna be like, well, ladies first, but that's so old school.
That
to
is
me.
so
it's
old
2018,
school.
so get in the back
Yeah.
seat. I'm sitting up front
That's
today.
right. There are no gender norms around here.
That's right. Okay. So how do you want to go about this? We're doing like a top five-ish
It's a
list.
top 5. I also have honorable mentions.
Oh,
So do we
extra
want
credit.
to start with our favorites, or do we want to start like our number 5? Or
I'd
does
say-
it even fucking matter?
I don't think it does, but I'd say for fun, let's save like our let's save our favorites for last.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would do 5 through 2, and then mention your honorable mentions that didn't make it, and then reveal your number
So
1.
we're building suspense here.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
got it. Why are you laughing?
Because of just the way he broke that down was so beautiful, and producer Mac Kelly
It was sometimes you just need that breakdown.
thank God I knew to start like 5, 4, 3, 2,
Two,
and
and
then
then
pause.
Honorable mentions and then reveal your number 1. That's how you do it.
I would not have thought of that.
If we get off track,
I was gonna go like 5, 2, 3, honorable mention, 4 and 1.
1, yeah.
No,
One,
1 in the
4.
middle, and then be
Yeah.
like, just kidding, guys. 3 was actually 1.
Just 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 honorable mentions. Back to 1.
Oh shit! So here's 5. Number 5. Number 5.
Single.
What's that on? Number 5. Oh, that's like
Number
those
5. Yeah,
YouTube.
what is that?
It's that Matt. What's that,
That
channel
was really
on
good
YouTube?
with number 5.
When they're like number 5, and they draw in the countdown. Number 10.
Yeah.
Is it Watch Mojo?
Yeah, it's Mojo.
There we go.
I love Watch Mojo videos. Okay,
I love that he just knew that. It's like, Matt, what's that thing on YouTube with number 5?
so I asked him. I don't remember a lot of things, but I know who does remember them. Okay, so I'm gonna start with, and Brooke wrote out a nice list of top 5 plus an honorable mentions list. I didn't do the honorable mentions list, but what I did was actually build a playlist.
That's
Just
way
wanna
better
let
than what
you
I
guys
did.
know that, and it's on
Fucking one-upper.
Spotify. So while you're following us on Spotify for the podcast, you can also search for me.
You can also listen to my really
Email me
dope-
for my name, and you'll get my podcast.
I have a
playlist.
really good emo playlist.
Do you?
Yeah.
An email playlist?
Emo?
Oh, emo.
Emo. Yeah, for my
Like you
emo.
email out your playlist to people.
Yep, I just email it out. Just no problem.
Man, this is gonna be a shit show of
It
a
is.
podcast.
All right,
I can already tell.
number 5.
I'm gonna put on there Savages Part 1 from Pocahontas.
Wow! I thought about that. I didn't do it. Savages, savages, barely even human.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's fucking mean. Do you listen to the words of that song?
Yeah.
It is so fucked up.
There's actually so one thing I found as I was building out this list and thinking of the different songs. Obviously, I listened to a shit ton of Disney playlists, and I kept struggling to focus on getting these songs built up in my list because I'd go to like listen to Savages Part 1 and then be like, well, let me just listen to the rest of the Pocahontas playlist, and then I'm off on 8 other albums. But to your point there, I noticed that a lot of the Pocahontas soundtrack, the lyrics are very raw and serious and like, holy shit.
Savages is so. Let me read to you.
You got the lyrics quote up?
Yes, some excerpts
Quote
from
us. Give us a quote.
This horrible fucking song. It's so brutal. It goes, "What can you expect from filthy little heathens? Their whole disgusting race is like a curse. Their skin's a hellish red. They're only good when dead. They're vermin, as I said, and worse."
Villain. Very much villain-like.
So fucked up.
That is. Can you imagine if like those are the songs that little kids remember and they're going around la, 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 singing that shit?
Drive them from our shore. They're not like you and me, which means they must be evil. We must sound the drums of war. This is a fucking white person to a T.
Yeah, sounds like an asshole. Well, Savages is not necessarily sung by a villain. The song definitely gives off that villainous
song.
evil vibe,
You would say Ratcliffe.
negative energy.
You'd say Ratcliffe isn't a villain.
Yeah, I guess he would.
Yeah, he's a fucking evil bastard. Okay. My number 5 is Oogie Boogie Song. From The Nightmare Before Christmas. Because when you listen to it, it's very ominous and like dark sounding.
Yes.
But it's also very theatrical, which makes it fun at the same time. And I like that duality to it. It's dark and fun.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a great pick.
Yeah, thank you.
Because it's
not as fucked up as Savages.
It's not. No, but for the very same reasons. That's actually number 4 on my list.
We're combining. Great segue.
Great
You're welcome.
segue. Great little group back and forth discussion here. But that whole album is one that, while I'm not a huge fan of the Nightmare Before Christmas movie, and we can talk about that in a future podcast this month.
Do we talk about that during... So, well, here's another debate. Do we talk about the Nightmare Before Christmas at Halloween or Christmas?
Both.
Okay.
See, I like
Weird.
it. I think it's a
I
perfect,
know.
actually, Halloween Day song. Because the Nightmare Before Christmas is ending Halloween, and then the November crazy shit until Christmas.
That is
so
true.
the Nightmare Before Christmas is the
joins
perfect
both.
Halloween because it's
Yeah.
the kickoff to that bullshit before Christmas.
The bullshit before Christmas.
There's a
That's
day
what
of
it should have been
there's
called.
a day of thanks in there, but outside of that, it's a lot of
But
bullshit.
I wish they would rename the movie to The Bullshit Before Christmas.
We can make our own
But
version.
it's a fun song. While still having like that very obviously villain tone and feel to it. So
Yes, if you haven't decorated for Halloween at this point, this is a great soundtrack to put on to decorate to Halloween.
you know what you should do?
Decorate Halloween.
While decorating for Halloween, well, first listen to this podcast the full way through.
Duh.
Note down all of our picks. Create a playlist. Well, you know what? We'll do it for them.
Yeah, we have.
Email us
I already have half
and
of mine.
ask for the playlist. We'll send it to you, and then you decorate for Halloween listening to our playlist. And then it's like we're all friends.
Yeah, it's like we helped you,
Yeah.
and you helped us.
Thank you.
Symbiotic relationship.
Exactly. Synergy.
Do you know that's where the name Simba comes from?
No, it is not.
It's not at all.
Okay.
Better clarify that before someone
So
calls
that
me out in
was-
an email.
That was also your number 4.
That was
So should I go into my number 4?
naturally.
I feel like this is a... don't fucking sass me. I feel like this would be higher up on your list. Like, I
rosé.
feel like you're going to have this one.
Yeah, it's gonna piss me off. I know which one you're going with.
It's Be Prepared by Scar.
Rose phone.
Because it is, to me, it's just so evil. Like, listening to Scar just get angry. And there's like some mumbling and weirdness. You can feel that anger rising. And he's dealing with dumbass hyenas. And he's just like, idiots, be prepared. It's great. I love it. I love that whole part of the movie, all the green tones that are going on, and Scar just being evil little, like, murderous shit. It's wonderful. It's great to get your murderous spirit on while you're decorating for Halloween. I'm sorry if I took one on your list.
It's not like I didn't expect it.
It's a good one. That is a very classic Disney song at this point, I feel like. Oh, I just realized they're going to do that for the live action, aka CGI Lion King.
Yeah.
That's going to be dope. I want to listen to it. You know what's great about this song is that it's evil, but you can still get down to this song.
Oh, 100%.
You can still fucking dance to it. It's just like, oh, you're just like, yeah.
It's definition
You're just,
a
like,
mean
You're
track.
just like fucking dropping it like it's fucking hot to be prepared.
The original fire track. This
This
shit is fire.
Fire.
This is what it means to have a fire track.
You can hear his smugness in it. Fucking love it.
Oh, his voice is perfect for this. God, it's so good.
It is so fucking
Makes me
good.
want to punch a hole in a wall.
I just want to get fucking evil.
Kill my brother. Just kidding. I
I-
love my siblings.
I could maybe kill my one brother, but not my other one. So that's my number 4. So go to your number, whatever you're on now, 3. Okay, number 3.
Yes, my number 3.
Guess it?
No, I said yes, my number 3.
I was like, well,
Yes. The Siamese Cat song.
we are Siamese, if you please. We are Siamese, if you don't please.
Fuckers on the piano.
So racist.
Their little shake of the ass. Yeah, but it's great.
It is great. And I have a Siamese cat.
I'll pause it though because I just
That's
would
a
rather you
good
guys
one.
watch it. That's a
fucking good one. I didn't think about that.
and it's such a beautiful Disney movie. Like Lady and the Tramp is one of my all-time
I mean,
favorites.
I feel like it's the classic story of a very well-off woman who has everything going for her, falling in love with a piece of shit.
Yeah, and it working out.
We all do it.
It happens.
And it worked out for them.
Yeah, that's one of probably the most. That may be one of my most like memorable
Tale as
Disney
old
songs.
as time. Beauty and the
Maybe I'll
Beast.
watch that. I might watch.
It really should be Lady and the Tramp. That song should be in Lady and the Tramp, not Beauty and the Beast.
It would fit the movie.
It would. Lady and the Tramp.
Ooh. Now I'm thinking, Reading Rainbow. Because it sounded kind of similar.
Reading Rainbow.
Yeah.
Is it my turn for number 3?
I mean, I gave my number 3, which was the Siamese Cat song
Okay, I'm just
by
making sure
Peggy Lee and
you're-
Oliver Wallace.
Your comments are done.
You know what, Brooke? Yeah, my comments are done.
Okay.
I have nothing else to say.
My number 3 comes from a movie, and this villain is Under the Sea.
Didn't see this one coming.
Which one is it? Can anyone guess?
It's Ursula's song.
No, bitch, it's Shiny from Moana. Tamatoa.
Ah, shit!
Tamatoa hasn't always been this glam.
Shit!
Fuck yes.
You did get me.
I did.
You got me good, Brooke.
Got him.
God, you're so good.
I don't care what producer Matt has to say about this song. This is a fucking jam. Okay? This is probably the most fun Disney villain song of all time because it's not really that scary. I mean, you can tell it's like supposed to be a little like spooky-ish, but it's so much fucking fun. And Tamatoa is fucking great. And you just have a good time. Even though you're supposed to like not like this character, he's supposed to be a bad guy, but you fucking love him because he is fabulous.
Yeah, you get into it.
Yes.
You definitely get into it.
And who doesn't want to be shiny? I want to be shiny. So that's my number 3. Got y'all. Got him.
I like it.
Okay, you're number 2. And then remember, after I give my number 2, we go to honorable mentions.
Are you sure?
I think so, right, Matt? Yes, he's nodding his head.
So we're doing 2, and then I'm gonna pause, and then we're gonna do some honorable mentions, and then we're gonna go to 1. Sorry, this is hard to
I
grasp.
don't know if I can fucking keep this straight.
So let's go. Yeah, this is where it gets tough.
Who the fuck is that in my backyard?
You scared the shit out of me.
He scared the shit out of me. I was like, what the fuck is that? It was a ghost. All right. Numerados.
Okay. So what's hard is it's between 2.
If you had never had to, okay. How the fuck do I say this? Why can't I find my words? You can only listen to one from this day forward. The other one has to go away forever. Which one do you choose?
Well, that's hard to think about because it's not the life I live.
Well, that's the life you're living right now to help you fucking decide before Matt's Rayovac batteries run out. Oh, we upgraded. Is it Duracell?
You know what, then? I'm going to go with the Land of the Dead from Hercules.
Womp womp.
You know what? Hades is probably one of my favorite villains in all of Disney.
Me too. So I don't know why I was so quick to dismiss that one. I'm sorry.
And there's like a few different areas of that movie, and even like clips like that from the TV show that came out after of Hercules. But I love his character. I think it's so fun and very similar to Be Prepared. He just has like the right voice and kind of charisma, like this villain, this charismatic villain. And that's what I think I love about it.
Well, I think so. Yeah, I think
He's
you're
not
right
gloomy.
in that it kind of combines Be Prepared. Like you have this he's very much a villain, and you can hear that in his voice and the way he talks. But there's a really fun aspect to that song as well that reminds me of Shiny in a sense. Is kind of playing with the whole idea of being a villain.
Yes. It's
So,
like they're toying with you.
yes,
It's-
and so
yeah, it
I
comes
like
off
that.
chummy.
Where like Be Prepared is much more ominous and about being a dark, evil villain. Shiny and I already fucking forget.
That's all right. That's recorded.
Okay, they're more playful
Yes.
in a sense.
Yep.
But that one still keeps a little bit of the ominous tone. So it's a really nice blend of both types of villain songs. I think. Good choice. I do love Hades. He is the man.
Yeah, and he has great hair.
He does.
Flame on, man. Flame on.
My number 2. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
We're going back under the sea. We're staying there. We live in the fucking ocean, okay? But this one, you might lose your voice while singing Poor Unfortunate Souls. Because it's so good. And honestly, in the one part, Ariel's like, oh, but I won't see my friends and my family. And Ursula's like, but you'll have your man. And I'm like, that is some evil shit to tell a girl right there. That is some fucking evil shit. To be like, forget your friends and family. You'll get the man. And it's like, no, fuck that. Keep your friends and your family. You evil, evil sea witch, you. I love her. She's fucking great. Also, just a fabulous song in general. It's 4 minutes long. You have a great time jamming out to that. Ursula is the number 1 evil bitch of all time.
Her and Hades would be perfect together.
Oh my god, could they please get together? That's fucking great. I want that to happen.
Disney couples that should marry.
Ursula and Hades. What are your honorable mentions? I have 2.
As I said at the beginning of this episode, I didn't have any, but there we go. Actually, I have one
See, there you go.
that I can say right away, which is the I'll Put a Spell on You from Hocus Pocus.
Why is that an honorable mention? Way to spoil my number 1, by the way.
Well, you already spoiled mine.
True.
But y'all don't know which one because Matt edited that out. And he probably just edited that
Be
out.
prepared.
And is editing this out. I don't know what he's editing out. We'll find out in a couple weeks. Or will we? No, just kidding, guys. It's a 24-hour turnaround because he whips these things out and cranks them out to you the next day. Because that's the producer, Matt standard.
So that's your honorable mention.
That's one of them.
Well, you said
I
you
do
had
have
one.
another comment. I
Okay.
had one to start with.
Mm-hmm.
Impatient. So
I
impatient.
am. I'm ready. I'm prepared. See what I did there?
Yeah, you just rubbed the wound with salt. Another honorable mention is Trust in Me from the Jungle Book.
Oh, is that Ka?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually had a different villain song from Jungle Book written down.
Is that I Want to Be Like You?
Yeah.
Want to be like you.
You know, I was thinking about it, but the thing with that song is
It's trash.
I enjoy it so much.
I don't like that song.
I
I'm going to be honest.
I enjoy it in the sense of it's not a song that makes me think villain. It's a song that I'm like, so
yeah,
I
it
can't.
doesn't feel very villainous.
Can't
That's
bring me
what
down.
a true villain would lull you in with good times.
All right, my honorable mentions. Here we go. The Gaston song. Because who doesn't like Gaston except for Belle? And we already know she's the worst. So truly,
Really, Belle should be your honorable mention villain song.
that should be that bitch. She is the worst. Like, what's that song even called? Is it
Belle.
Is it just Belle? Yeah, because it's just horrible. They just want you to know straight up. But Gaston's song is great, so it's on there. My other one is Mine, Mine, Mine,
That was gonna be one of mine.
which
Mine.
which Ratcliffe sings in Pocahontas, and I picked this one because it's like kind of fun, but because it gave me one of my favorite Disney memes of all time when he's like wearing the glitter suit, and then someone just wrote over it, "Throw some glitter, make it rain on him." I was just like, yes, Kesha and Ratcliffe.
Perfect.
That's what the world needed in 2010.
So, Andrew,
Hi, Matt.
you had Savages Part 1 as your number 5, the Oogie Boogie song is your number 4, the Siamese Cat song is your number 3, and the Land of Dead is your number 2. What was your number 1?
What was your number 1?
Gee, Brooke, tell us what was my number one.
I don't know. what is your number one?
My number one was Be Prepared from The Lion King.
Oh, shit. I was prepared because that was on my list earlier.
I know. And that's why I was so bummed out. But not bummed out at all because it was on your list.
It's a fucking good one, dude.
Lion King's my all-time favorite Disney movie, hands down. I know that.
Yes.
I can officially say that.
You would know that.
And that song is awesome. And I'm sure it's on a lot of top Disney like villain songs, but it's a banger.
It should be because it's a fucking good ass villain
It is what
song.
it is.
It's just fucking. Be prepared for how good this fucking villain song is. That's what it is. Be prepared for this hot ass track that we're about to drop in The Lion King. Get yourself ready. And then somebody comes back and fucks shit up. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Like the hyenas when they're in the cave with the lights and like I can listen to that song and picture it and I just put myself in that and I love that moment in the movie.
And it is like when I was younger, that shit scared me.
Mm-hmm.
It's spooky.
As it should. It was a spooky part of the song.
I agree.
Traumatic things that happened.
Yeah. It was great.
Scar.
He is
Scar.
He is who he is. He does what he does.
Oh, I know. I found out.
Yeah. He's very traumatic.
Brooke, you had at number 5 the Oogie Boogie song. At number 4, you had Be Prepared from The Lion King. Number 3 was Shiny from Moana. And number 2 was Poor Unfortunate Souls from Little Mermaid. What is your number 1?
I put a spell on you. Yes. And now you're mine. How this was a fucking honorable mention for you, I will never understand because that song is fucking fire. I will listen to that any time of year and like bump that shit in the car, in my house, in the shower, everywhere. It is so much fun.
You know,
thank you, Max, for that marvelous introduction.
It's
so good.
Freaking good. You know what it is? While I love that song and that movie, I don't know. Hocus Pocus is just a not always Halloween movie for me.
No,
it's an anytime.
So
and that
good.
song and that part of the movie is like my favorite thing ever. So I can't, it's hard to think of it as like a villain evil song.
Hocus Pocus, a Halloween movie, which was released in July. I'll never get that. But it does break the boundaries of being so fucking watchable any time of year.
Name a better Halloween movie.
I won't, because there isn't one.
Right, Matt?
It is the
and
fucking
Matt
best.
knows Halloween movies.
He's on Horror Movie Night podcast. I don't know if you know that.
It's another Geekscape podcast. You guys should check it out. It's actually pretty funny. The dudes on there are pretty great.
Yeah, there's probably going to be a minute-long commercial for it at the end of this podcast.
Yeah, there may or may not be, because
And they
Matt's
can
a
tell you
sucker
more
for
about
advertising. Sorry about that.
So I only had 3 of the 7 that I'd written down. There's only 3 that neither one of you picked.
Oh, here we go with the fucking Disney hipster. You ready?
Oh man, the Disney hipster's really going to stick on this first one too.
One of them's going to be the Dumbo song, I swear.
No, it's not.
Oh, thank God.
It's gonna be like from like the Great.
You know
Mouse
which one I mean?
Detective or the
Yeah.
Black
It's going to be a
Cauldron.
Pinocchio song, isn't it?
No, it's even worse than that. And I'm only mentioning this one. I can't even sing you a single note of this song, which is embarrassing. But it's just that this sequence scared the piss out of me. And it's the song about the Headless Horseman that happens in the Adventures of Ichabod Crane, where they're sitting in the bar and they're singing about the legend of the Headless Horseman.
Brooke's face right now.
My eyes are gonna fall out of my head if I roll them as hard as I want to.
Okay, so the next one I'm shocked wasn't on Brooke's list because I thought that there might be a chance, was the Heffalumps and Woozles song.
No, because there are better ones.
It's more of a chant than a song.
And then I was shocked that neither one of you put Cruella de Vil in there.
Because I feel like Cruella's misunderstood. She's not a villain.
No, she's just really about animal fur.
How are you
Yeah.
as a dog animal? Okay,
I am a dog animal.
Because
how are you as a dog owner okay with the idea of slaughtering a bunch of puppies to make a jacket?
Listen,
fashion first,
you gotta look good.
dog second.
You gotta look good.
If
Cruella is obviously suffering from a lot of issues.
Yeah.
She's emaciated. She's chain smoking. I believe there's some alcohol abuse going on. She needs some help.
she
okay?
binges. Yes.
But damn, does she dress well? You know, like, good for that drunk ass bitch. Like, I am proud of her.
In her
Do
defense,
you, Cruella?
when that came out, Fur was really in.
It
We were all
was.
about fur.
PETA
And
wasn't
that was
really a
before
thing
we
yet.
thought that animals weren't for us to use and kill and consume. That's before we
Also,
realized that animals were people and had souls.
I don't know how many times I've joked about murdering Coda and then turning his pelt into a jacket for myself because he has a very pretty coat. I will never do
And
that.
he would make a very
Disclaimer.
pretty coat.
I would never kill my dogs. I love them. They're my children. But he would make a very pretty jacket.
And just think about it. They're called coats. We wear coats.
Dogs, yeah, it's a coat because
We
we can
use
wear
their
them.
coats. That's how we save the environment and start cutting down on the fabric usage. Animal coats.
We're saving sheep.
Jeez, guys.
It doesn't even make sense. But Cruella's, I like her. I don't, you know what? Misunderstood. Okay.
She was.
Send her to rehab and she'll come back out a new woman and she would never hurt a puppy. All right? Continue with your hipster fucking
Well, that's
list.
it. That was my list.
Oh, that's it.
That's
Okay.
it? You have nothing else to say?
Those are the only ones that you hadn't named.
Wow.
I'm shocked. I could have sworn there'd be like some way more obscure shit he'd have.
I have a
ready
list
for
of
us.
15 that I've come up with, guys.
I've got 37
Oh,
and a half.
well, now that I think about it.
Actually, so I don't necessarily agree with this, but a friend of mine a couple years ago did his list of the
Oh, so this is a stolen idea?
No. He did.
Oh my god, this isn't even original.
He did.
phony.
He did every Disney villain song in order of worst to best, and he named the number one best villain song from what he was declaring the perspective of the pure evilness of the lyrics.
Savages.
To Hellfire from Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh, yeah.
I did think of that one.
I
but
did listen to that today.
Yeah, that one's pretty brutal.
I just keep thinking about, can Quasimodo make breakfast?
I know. That was my first thought. As
And
soon
then
as
when
you
you-
said it, I was like, but Quasi's such a nice guy.
And you're like, and he won't write you letters, but he'll draw pictures. And I'm just like, that's so fucked up and also probably true. He'll draw you pictures. I love that fucking episode, by the way. Moving on. Oh, there is no moving on. We're done. It's over. We put a spell on you, and now we're done.
Done.
So done! You can play it while dick rating
Ooh.
or decorating.
Speaking of dick rating, I also have a great Disney-themed Between the Sheets playlist. So ask me for that, too.
Oh, I want that.
I'll send it.
That'll be fun.
Dope.
Okay, so email us for that, or email us your top 5 list of Disney villain songs. If you're a Disney hipster like Matt and you have some obscure ones we didn't talk about, feel free to, let us know how fucking mainstream we are. You can email us at DisNeatoPodcast@gmail.com.
Hey, do you guys like horror movies?
I do.
Do they always have to be good movies?
No way.
I prefer them to be crap, personally.
Well, then you guys are in luck because Horror Movie Night is your expert podcast on both horror movies, good, bad, and gooey. It's just a show of 3 friends.
Two brothers and a friend, I think you would call it, but we're all friends here,
We're friends.
goof
We're all
around.
friends here.
Yeah.
We goof around, but we talk about movies, but we normally don't actually talk about movies, which is kind of weird. It's a weird dynamic. You have to really listen to understand it. But we put together a show every Friday morning. You can find our show hmnpodcast.com. We're part of the Geekscape Network. We are, we're good guys. You should check us out. We're good, silly guys. We're fun.
Please like me.
Please.
That's pretty much the impetus of everything we do, is to be accepted.
We want to
Yeah.
be loved. hmnpodcast.com.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network. You're listening to the Geekscape Network.